My beloved, you were not meant to come across this at this moment, but heaven rearranged the plan tonight. There is something you must know, and once you hear it, the way you see her will change forever. This is not a message about strangers or vague visions or symbols. This is about your sister. Yes, the same one you believe you fully understand. Yet her hidden behaviors, God is bringing them into the light now, not to punish her, but to shield you. And before anything further is spoken, I must ask you, do not skip ahead. Do not hesitate. Heaven is observing how you handle this truth. Even right now, as your eyes move across these words, your sister's name is echoing through the spiritual realm. The truth has been waiting to surface, and this moment begins with you. Archangel Michael has been attempting to reach you for more than 3 days. A direct request came from God Himself. Tell my child before the hour becomes too late. The heartbreak will double if they turn away from this. So here I am, speaking through this message with urgent trembling. You've felt it, haven't you? That strange shift between the two of you. The sense that something isn't what it appears. That moment when you stared into her eyes and felt she was hiding an entire world behind her smile. My beloved, heaven says your intuition wasn't mistaken, but the timing needed to align, and tonight it finally has. If you feel chills right now or notice your heartbeat racing, that is not random. It means this message was destined for you. And if you believe this reached you with divine intention, then pause for 5 seconds and subscribe to this holy message channel, because what I'm about to reveal, no one on earth will dare say. Archangel Michael declares, if they scroll past this, regret will arrive in 7 days, but if they listen, their tears will transform into triumph. Now, pay close attention. Dearest soul, your sister is not wicked, but she has become involved in something that God has not approved, and God gave her time after time after time. But now it is your moment to know, because her choices are about to influence your own path directly. And the longer you remain unaware, the heavier the spiritual consequences become. I tell you this with love, but with divine seriousness too. You may believe she is gentle, calm, and polite, but there is a version of her she keeps hidden even from herself. A secret turned into a habit, and now it has become a cycle. Heaven is revealing this to you now. She made a decision 6 months ago, and ever since, it has been unfolding behind locked doors. But Archangel Michael witnessed it. Angels attempted to stop it. God sent warnings through dreams, but she continued. And now, the impact will not be limited to her. It will reach you. That is why this revelation must arrive today. God does not disgrace, God warns, God restores, but only when truth is embraced. And you, my child, are chosen to confront that truth first. You are still reading these words, and that means everything. Heaven honors your willingness because only the chosen keep reading when truth becomes uncomfortable. But listen closely. Within 3 days, something will occur. A small moment that might appear insignificant. But it is everything. That will be the instant where God will expose a hidden call, a secret visit, or a concealed money link that you were never supposed to witness. Yet you will. And when it takes place, you will remember this message. And when that moment comes, do not shout. Do not blame. Just breathe. Because Archangel Michael will steer you, and the Spirit of God will stand beside you during the confrontation. Yes, it will come, it must, but you will not face it alone. And no, this is not to break your bond, it is to cleanse it, because only truth survives in the light, and only love grounded in truth remains after the storm ahead.
beloved, the reason this hurts is because you care. But caring without clarity leads to chaos. God does not desire chaos in your home. God wishes peace to live there. But peace cannot exist where a hidden blade lies beneath your roof. That blade has a name. It is deception. And that deception wears your sister's own smile. But do not resent her. Just prepare yourself, because once you finish this message, the heavens will shift. Archangel Michael says, those who turned away from this message once will taste regret, but those who listen with their heart will be wrapped in protection through truth. That is why I repeat again, if your soul is trembling now, do not reject it. That feeling is not fear.
That stirring in your chest is prophecy awakening. That's the divine urging. I need you watchful. I need you ready, because what's coming will challenge you. You might be asking yourself, why now? Why today? Why me? Because heaven has chosen you, beloved. Not because you're the eldest, not because you're the most experienced, but because your soul, yes, your soul is the most alert. Even in moments of doubt, even in weariness, your spirit stays tethered to God. That's why Michael came to you. That's why God didn't give this message to someone else in your family. You have the sight that looks beyond surfaces. You've always sensed your sister carried a burden. You just didn't fully grasp what it was until now. Let me show you what the angels witnessed. One evening not long ago, your sister sat quietly in her room. The atmosphere was thick, and though her lips were still, her soul was crying out. She was in a battle. A choice was before her, and instead of seeking divine guidance, she reached out to something or someone she was never meant to call upon. Yes, beloved, she made a spiritual pact that heaven never approved of. And now that decision is casting shadows over your whole home. But here's the blessing. Heaven isn't exposing her to embarrass her. Heaven is uncovering this to rescue her. And you, yes, you are the key to that rescue. But only if you receive this truth with clear vision and an open heart. There's a message, or perhaps a screenshot, something hidden on a device in a folder or stored in the cloud, and it includes your name. It's been waiting for you to find it. It's the missing piece that confirms what your spirit has been sensing. When you uncover it, don't react in fear. That moment will be a bridge, the bridge between shock and release, between illusion and full understanding. Your sister didn't intend to harm you, but the secret she holds will cause harm if it remains hidden. Archangel Michael has already formed a shield around your energy. That's why you've recently experienced sudden tiredness or unexpected chills. That's the spiritual realm trying to get your attention. Something has been spiritually impure, but now help is arriving. And beloved, these words are that help. I urge you, in heaven's name, do not ignore this. Don't dismiss it as just another message to revisit some other time, because by then, it may be too late. Angels are already watching you, and so is the energy your sister has unknowingly invited into your surroundings. That's why your rest has felt disrupted. That's why your emotions have felt unstable. Something has been leaking into your atmosphere on a spiritual level. But that ends now, because divine light has broken through. And if you've stayed with this message until now, then you already feel it. Something sacred is unfolding even in this very breath. So take a pause, and if you haven't yet, subscribe to this holy message channel, because messages like this aren't made, they are delivered on assignment. You were destined to hear this. You were meant to be awakened. Don't miss what heaven wants to whisper next. Your sister didn't intend to hurt you, but what she's concealing will bring harm if it stays hidden. Archangel Michael has already placed divine protection around your aura. That's why you've been feeling those strange waves of fatigue or chilling sensations. That's heaven saying something here isn't pure. But divine help is on its way. And beloved, these very words you're reading are part of that help. I ask you again, with the authority of heaven, don't disregard this. Don't treat it like any ordinary message you scroll past and think, maybe later, because later will be too late. You're already under divine observation by angels and by the very energy your sister has unknowingly drawn into your world. That's why your sleep has shifted. That's why your heart has felt unsettled, because something spiritual has been leaking into your personal space. But no more. Because now light has entered, and if your spirit is still here with me, then you can feel it already. Something sacred is moving, even as you read. So pause for just a moment, and if you haven't yet, subscribe to this Divine Message channel, because words like this aren't simply written, they are heaven sent. You were always meant to hear this. You were always meant to be awakened. Don't miss the next divine whisper. Archangel Michael continues to speak. Your sister may not realize what is approaching, but you will. You will recognize it because I will reveal it to you. I will communicate through signs, repeating numbers, unusual dreams, unexpected comments from people you would never guess. The signals are already being released. Now, breathe and hear this again. The confrontation ahead will not come through screaming. It will not come through anger. It will come through calm, through your soft yet direct words, through your willingness to allow God to speak through you rather than your pride. And when you speak, she may deny it. She may laugh it off. She may switch the topic, but stay steady. Because within the next 24 hours after that, her truth will come out on its own without you proving a single thing. That is how heaven fights. It wins with truth, not aggression. And here is the deeper piece. This warning is not only about what she has already done, it is about what she was just about to do. Because if this message had not reached you, a certain moment was coming, a very specific moment, where she would have made a choice that would bring spiritual consequences not just upon her, but upon you as well. That is why God stepped into your timeline with this divine intervention. This is not meant to frighten you, it is meant to rescue you. So I ask you with sacred seriousness, are you ready to witness what God is trying to uncover? Will you allow your spiritual sight to open even if it challenges you? Because once you say yes, heaven will begin shifting situations behind the scenes, and within 48 hours, you will notice it. A change, a sudden call, a slip of words, or a conversation you were never supposed to overhear. That is how truth begins breaking through the hidden. Your sister still belongs to God, and He loves her greatly, but He also loves you, and He will not let you stay unaware of anything that could steal your peace, your health, or your purpose. There are blessings circling above you, waiting for a clean landing space. They cannot arrive while deception occupies a seat right beside you. Heaven is clearing the space now. That is why Michael is present. Do you feel this? This isn't something to discard. It is a divine command. And I must tell you another thing, something that might hurt but will liberate you. There is jealousy. Yes, your sister has stored jealousy in her heart. She has tried to bury it, but it has influenced her actions, her tone, her connection with you. She has silently compared herself to you, even while smiling beside you in photos. She believed no one noticed, but God always saw. And God is compassionate, yes, but God also reveals truth to guard his own. So what happens now? You pray. You stay quiet for a bit. You do not confront immediately. You stay attentive because the next instructions will come through divine timing. And when that timing arrives, your voice will know what to speak, and your heart will not shake. Because Michael will be standing behind you and heaven will be watching proudly. You might struggle to accept this next part, but listen anyway, because what I'm about to expose is something even your sister has not faced within herself. It began in your childhood. Yes, back when the two of you whispered under blankets, giggled over secrets, and promised to protect each other forever. But something shifted, and heaven remembers when. It was one moment you barely recall, but your sister never let go of it. A comparison, a comment, one look from someone who mattered, making her feel like you were the favored one. From that single seed, silent resentment grew. She buried it deep, never mentioning it. She carried it into school days, heartbreaks, and life choices, and that hidden envy shaped her behavior, especially toward you. God says what happened then was not your fault, but it is influencing your destiny now. And he refuses to let that shadow continue interfering with the blessings prepared for you. That is why you have felt blocked recently. That is why prayers you have spoken seemed unanswered. The atmosphere surrounding you has been contaminated, because someone tied closely to your soul has unknowingly created spiritual resistance. And now that your eyes have been opened, heaven can begin the purification. There is a person she has been speaking to. Yes, currently. Someone who once smiled at you. Someone you trusted or maybe once loved. And in private, your sister has said things to this person that are half-truths, twisted, or spoken with the intent to quietly harm your reputation, not loudly, but softly, subtly, spiritually. And those words have taken root, but do not be afraid, because once a lie is brought into the light of God, it loses its power immediately. And that's exactly what's about to unfold. You won't need to fight this in the physical realm. Heaven is already handling it in the spiritual realm. Now it's your turn to get ready. Be ready to stay quiet even when your whole being wants to scream. Be ready to show love even when truth feels like betrayal. Be ready to rise, because when this is cleared, your blessing will speed up in a way you've never seen before. What you've been praying for, the open door, the opportunity, the relationship, the divine validation, it was never rejected. It was simply held back. And that waiting ends tonight. And beloved, if your eyes are misty now or your hands feel unsteady, it means this message is striking exactly where it was meant to. That means heaven is currently touching the deepest part of your soul. And if you haven't done so yet, I kindly ask again, subscribe to this divine message channel before you leave, because the next message I deliver from heaven will reveal something from your past that even you couldn't fully comprehend until now. Back to her, your sister. She's going to sense something shortly, a spiritual pressure, a heaviness she can't explain, but it's the angels surrounding her spirit, beginning the work. Don't criticize her in this moment. Don't insult or accuse her. Instead, remain close to God, because He is preparing to do something through you that will be remembered throughout your family line. This is healing for generations, and it begins with you. Archangel Michael whispers, "There's a reason this message reached you and not her. The one with the strongest spiritual capacity receives the hardest truth, and that one is you. And now you must get ready, ready to stay quiet, even when everything inside urges you to speak out, ready to offer love even when truth hurts, ready to be lifted. Because once this is resolved, your blessing will come at an extraordinary pace. What you've been seeking, the miracle, the call, the connection, the divine signal, it was never denied. It was simply postponed. And tonight, the waiting is over. And beloved, if your tears are falling now or your body trembles slightly, it means this message has struck its target. That means the divine is touching your soul right now. And if you haven't yet, I kindly ask again, subscribe to this sacred message channel before you go, because the next heavenly message will uncover something about your past that even you never fully understood. Back again to her, your sister. She's about to feel something stir within her, a burden, a spiritual weight. She won't understand it, but it's the angelic presence beginning its work. Don't pass judgment in this season. Don't mock her or throw accusations. Instead, walk closely with God, because what He's about to do through you will echo for generations to come. This is generational restoration, and it starts with you. Archangel Michael softly says, "There's a reason you're reading this now and not her, because the one with the most resilient soul receives the most difficult message, and that soul is yours. You've been chosen to carry this moment with power, because what you do now will transform everything. And I must now reveal something only heaven could know. There is a secret your sister kept from you years ago, something that would have influenced a major choice in your life. Maybe it was about love, a career, a relocation, or money. She had knowledge and stayed silent. At the time, you were confused about why things fell apart, why you felt wounded but had no explanation, why your peace disappeared for weeks or months, and now you understand. God says what was taken will be returned. What was hidden will come into the light, not to disgrace, but to purify. This is your moment of recovery. But before full light enters your home, the shadows must be acknowledged. And now that you've seen them, light is coming. In the days ahead, you might find yourself near her in an unexpected, casual setting, and the atmosphere will feel heavy, tense. That's spiritual awareness rising up. You'll feel it swell in your chest, but instead of reacting, simply breathe, because God will speak through your eyes, and your silence will roar louder than any excuse she gives. And in that moment, she will know. She will feel it.